Hey y'all, it's your boy Young Robbie Hollywood, aka Mr. Robbie the Motivator, and this is episode 8 of my YouTube segment entitled Thoughts of a Decent Man. And today's subject is the law of attraction. This is a very controversial subject that I encounter because everybody has very different views on it as to what exactly is the law of attraction. So before I start explaining it and before I start going into details about what it is, how it works, and why it works for some people and doesn't work for others, I want to assure you of one thing. The law of attraction is as real as any other laws that govern the universe. The one most familiar, the one that everyone is mostly familiar with, is the law of gravity. It's as real as the law of gravity, and it can be a very, very double-edged sword. And what do I mean by that? Just like any other law of the universe. For example, okay, the law of gravity keeps me seated in this chair right here. Due to it, thankfully, without it, I will be bouncing off the wall and up and down the roof, which will make it very hard to make this video. But that same exact law of gravity, if I was to step off a 20-story building, would be the cause of my death. So, believe me when I tell you that the law of attraction works both ways. Okay? But first of all, before we go into that, let's try to define exactly what the law of attraction is. So, the law of attraction dictates that you attract to yourself what you think about. Right? The issue is most people, when they think about it, they tend to confuse the law of attraction with wishful thinking. They think people who believe in it are the type of individuals who believe that you can sit in the corner, close your eyes, cross your fingers, wish for things, and it will start magically appearing. And that's the furthest thing from the truth, okay? And I will explain to you how you attract to yourself what you think about. There is actually it's really not that complicated to comprehend. So how does it work? How is it that you can attract to yourself what you think about? Well, it's very simple, okay? Our brain comes equipped with what's called a reticular mechanism. A reticular mechanism is the same mechanism that you find in those missiles that are able to follow the target. So the target moves to the right, the missile moves to the right. The target moves to the left, the missile moves to the left. Right? So your brain comes equipped with that same type of mechanism. And I'll give you an example as to how your reticular mechanism works. Have you ever bought a car or a shirt or an outfit and suddenly started seeing that car, that shirt, or that outfit popping out everywhere? Reason why, it's not because that car or that outfit was not everywhere before you bought it. Right? It's because now your brain is actually equipped with enough information to be able to pick it out of the crowd now. Because if you noticed everything, if your brain was engineered for you to notice absolutely everything, you will go crazy. It will drive you to the edge of madness. So you only notice things that you're focused on. Things that you're feeding your brain more than once or twice a day. And if you really try it, and it's very fun to be able to do, if you really try it, you start seeing it around. You really will see the example. You can start right now by setting your mind onto something, and if you actually consciously go out there and look at it, you start seeing that little thing everywhere. And that's how the law of attraction works. Right? So let's say you set your mind, you sit there, like, you know what? I need to attract my dream job to myself. Right? You sit there, and positive visualization is one of the most important portion of applying the law of attraction, because the more positive visualization you have of the thing that you're looking for, the more information you're feeding to your brain as to what to look for out there. Right? So the more time you spend visualizing the car of your dream or the maid of your dream or whatever it is that you're looking for, the more information you're equipping your brain to be able to see and recognize when you do encounter those people that could be the soulmate that you're looking for or could be the key to the job that you're looking for. The problem is, however, it's a lot easier to be able to keep your focus on the things that you don't want as opposed to the things that you do want, right? That's why it's not surprising that almost 40 to 45% statistics do show of women who are in an abusive relationship tend to leave, if they were to leave that abusive relationship, tend to find themselves again into a similar or even worse relationship due to the fact they focus their brain and their mind onto what they do not want. So the thing with your mind and your brain is your brain doesn't know what real and what isn't. All it functions on is what you tell it. You can tell it a lie, you can tell it the truth, you can tell it you can fly, whatever it is that you tell it, it's exactly what it believes. Right? So if you feel like you're in debt and you have collectors calling you and all this type of stuff, if you focus your mind on that, you will start noticing more and more and more and more and more and more of it, which starts bringing you more and more and more down, and you start feeling down on yourself, and you can't really do much about it because you're thinking emotionally to a certain extent. Right? So as opposed to, for example, setting your mind onto something positive that you do want, right? So setting your mind to something that you do want and really seeing it and feeling what it would be like to have it, because then once you go out there, your brain recognizes all the necessary components to put it together and bring that dream to reality. But so a few people do understand that, but the question that I get most of the time is especially through my my counseling sessions and my speaking engagements, is people will be like, okay, you know what, Robert, I understand how it works. I think I get the idea, but somehow it doesn't work for me. I don't think I've been visualizing that job of my dream for a while. I've been visualizing that mate of my dream for a while. I've been doing the exercises that you told me to do, but somehow the law of attraction doesn't work for me. Reason why the law of attraction fails to work for a lot of people is because they fail to understand how the universe actually functions. The universe is fair. It will give you what you want, but it will give you what you want, but it will not give it to you the way you want it. I'll repeat that again. The universe will each and every single time give you what you want, but it won't give it to you the way you want it, right? So let's say, for example, you have someone who's going to sit there and visualize that job of your dreams and do everything that they need to do, right? And go out there and look for that opportunity, right? But find out that before they get to that level where they see themselves, where they have envisioned themselves and where they have visualized themselves, they have to intern for 4 to 5 years, getting coffee for people and working in a mailroom to be able to work their way up to where they want to be. Right? So what happens is most people tend to see that and like, oh my God, the world is so unfair. Why am I not getting what I want? The law of attraction is garbage because I never get what I want. But the truth is, you were handed what you asked for. You were given what you asked for. But it came in a way that you did not ask for. So the question now becomes, are you willing to do whatever is necessary to help the universe bring your dream into reality? Because even Jesus did say it. I'm really bad at quoting scripture because I know exactly what it says, but I don't know exactly where to find it. But the saying that I'm looking for is, he did say that if you take one step is all you need. One step, and the rest of the 99, I'll take care of it. So the universe will go out of its way to hand you what you're looking for, but the fact that you're not receiving it the way you're looking for, you fail to see that opportunity. So it's very, very important to be very awake as to what is happening and seeing how the gifts that you're asking for are being handed to you, because most of us tend to pass on them because they're not handed to us the way we're expecting them. Right? You can sit there and visualize that mate of your dream, and you end up meeting that person, right? But for one reason or another, for example, you can fail to see that that's the person that you're looking for, because let's say you have been looking for compassion and love and affection, and that's what you've been looking for, but because they don't look exactly the way you pictured them, you fail to see what you asked for. That person has all the elements that you're looking for, because if, for example, they don't make the money that it is that you're looking for, you fail to see those other qualities that you were mostly focused on. So the key really to recognize the gifts that the universe is giving us is to live a very full and awake life. And on top of that, you have to keep a very positive mind. Why is it that it is very important to remain positive when we expect the law of attraction to work in our favor? Is because when we're in a positive state of mind, we think logically. As opposed to when we're in a negative state of mind, we think emotionally. Because if you're there and you're beating yourself up about the credit card debt that you're in, or the collectors that are, or the debt collectors that are calling you on a day-to-day basis, all you do is you create a reaction in your body. Because if you're complaining, you're not thinking about solutions. When you're complaining, you're not thinking about solutions. When you're worrying, you're not talking about solutions. And that's why one of the best things that my father really does say is, and this is one thing that I have adopted for my life, and it really has worked for me. He says, either pray or worry, but don't do both. You can either pray or you can worry, but you can't do both, right? Because when you're in the positive state of mind and you're confronted with that debt and you feel that you have that power within you to change your situation, what you get, what the type of thoughts that come through you now are solutions. Instead of you feeling sorry for yourself and being in this melancholic state where you feel like you're a victim to everything that is happening to you, you actually take charge of your life and decide that you are going to find the solutions necessary to get yourself out of the situation that you're in. And those are the people for who the law of attraction works each and every single time in the way that they do carry themselves. It's all about how you feel and when and where you are, because those opportunities and those things that you're looking for are everywhere. But if you're not in a positive frame of mind, you can't see them. You can't recognize them because you're too busy feeling sorry for yourself. So one of the biggest questions that I get now after people come to grasp this concept is, how do I get in the habit, or how do I create the habit of being in that positive state? So just like anything in life, I always tell them it's like learning how to walk. It's like learning how to talk. It's like learning anything, really. It takes practice. What practice does is, once you do something over and over and over and over again on a conscious level, eventually, if you do it long enough, it becomes a subconscious effort where you don't actually have to put any form of thought or effort behind it. It becomes as easy as breathing or walking, right? When you're breathing, you don't think in, exhale, inhale. Right? When you're walking, you don't think left, right, right? But at some point, when you were a child and learning how to walk, it was one of the most painful, one of the most difficult things that you ever had to do. But each and every single one of us learn eventually because we practice and we put in time, and eventually becomes something that you don't have to think about anymore. So it's the same thing with positive thinking. You can actually really train yourself to always be in a positive state of mind. Right? It's going to be hard to keep top of it at first. And one of the pieces of advice that I give people that really want to develop the habit of thinking positively is being able to recognize the reactions in your body that are created by negative thinking. Because if you think of it in a certain way, things like anger, jealousy, remorse, whatever it is, right? Or like all those negative feelings have some sort of physical reaction in your body. For example, when you're angry, you tend to feel a pitch in your chest, or you tend to feel some sort of weight sitting on your right in the heart of your chest. Or when you're jealous, you tend to feel like your throat is seizing up. You feel like air is hard to be able to take. So whenever you feel all those physical symptoms, you need to be able to learn how to stop yourself and be like, okay, you know what? What is this that I'm feeling here? I feel a weight on my chest. Okay, the weight on my chest is synonymous with anger. Now let me ask myself, is this feeling that I have right now helping me become a better person? Because this is the thing with anger. Okay? Being angry at someone is like drinking poison, expecting them to die. So it doesn't really fix anything at all. All it does is it puts you in a state where you are unable to receive solutions and move forward. So now once you learn to recognize things like anger and sadness and fear due to the physical reactions that it creates in your body, you can learn to be able to stop yourself, right? You are at a point where you feel like, okay, you know what, I'm going to apply for this job. But suddenly you start talking to yourself, you start talking yourself out of it. That's fear. That fear has a physical reaction to it. Because most people can't stop that voice in their head. But if you learn to pick up the different physical reactions that happen in your body due to that voice in your head, you can recognize it a lot quicker. Because guess what? Some of us have been talking negatively to ourselves for so long that it's a subconscious effort. As soon as we think about something, it's a lot easier to go towards that negative side of things because we've been doing it for so long. So the key is to be able to bring ourselves back onto that positive side of the bridge in order to be able to allow the universe to give us the solutions that we're looking for in order to go ahead and propulse ourselves and become better human beings. If you like what you heard today and you feel like this is something that has helped you, please share, subscribe, and pass it on to as many people as you possibly can that you feel that it can help. And if you're looking to be able to book me for a speaking engagement or anything of the sort, my email is right in the box below. Please feel free to send us an email, and one of my agents will be able to contact you to be able to make the arrangements necessary to see what we can do for you. Other than that, share, comment, subscribe, and live your truth, because then and only then no one can hold it against you. Cheers.